She stated that she was in the process of putting her child into the car seat of her vehicle when someone came up behind her, put a bag over her head, and took the child. We scrambled all available assets that we had, including patrol officers from all three of our precincts. We called in our swing shift officers early to cover. We had virtually every persons and property crime detective that was available, gang detectives, you name it. We had every asset that we could, doing door-to-door searches. We were in the process of locking the grid down and of getting the child abduction response team, the CART team, out and set up. Meanwhile, as all of this is going on, we're looking at other avenues. One of those avenues, we need to check mom's residence. When our patrol officers arrived at the residence, they found the residence was unsecured. They went inside, they did an initial protective sweep, and then they started a more detailed search and found the 4-month-old baby deceased inside the apartment.
So do you believe the abduction story was an elaborate lie?
Well, at this point I can tell you that we are looking at mom as a suspect, and we are not looking at anybody else as a suspect.
Can you clarify real quick, 4-week-old or 4-month-old?
4-week-old. 4-week-old baby
so
boy.
4 months, we just want to make sure.
Yes, it's a 4-week-old baby boy.
Okay.
So, for those who may have missed it, when it comes to the original call, what was the original call at 1:30 this afternoon?
So the original call this afternoon at 1:30 was the mother calling 911 stating that her 4-week-old child had been abducted from Brooks Crossing Park, which is about 4 miles from where we're at now.
Is there any indication of maybe how this little boy died or how he was found?
Very early on, something like this, once the baby is found, we go through a process with our persons crimes. We write a search warrant for the apartment, so it's going to take some time. And we are currently speaking with the mother right now, and she is providing information to us.
Was the mother at the park earlier?
The mother was at the park. She was contacted at the park by patrol. My understanding, she called 911 from the park. In fact, her vehicle is still out at the park, and we have that locked down as a crime scene right now.
Is there any indication that the baby at any time was actually at the park today at this point?
That's a very good question. We don't have that information right now. Hopefully that's something we'll be able to determine later.
Is this a homicide investigation at this point?
Right now it's a death investigation. Hopefully we'll have some more information later tonight, but right now we're looking at it as a death investigation.
Can you share anything about mom's state during this whole thing? If she has any sort of a history of mental illness or run-ins with police at all?
I don't have any of that information.
Where was the child found in the apartment? In a crib, in a bed, in a room?
Don't know exactly where the child was found. I've been told a couple of different things, and I don't want to say, one thing and have it be another. So just for now, the baby was found inside the apartment.
Is there any other family in the apartment?
As far as I know, it's just mom and the baby that live in the apartment, but we'll get that confirmed for you later tonight as well.
And do we have any information on where the father may be at this point?
No, we don't have any information on the father, and like I said, we're looking at mom as the sole suspect. We're not looking at anybody else right now as the suspect in the baby's death.
So
Do you have the age of the
Mother
mother?
is 19 years old.
So what happens now, for you guys here on the ground as far as going forward for the rest of the night?
We basically have two scenes. We have the scene here at the apartment complex on Pecos. We have the scene at Calle del Norte and Longmore where the vehicle is. So we will process that vehicle probably out there. We may take it back to the police department, and of course we will process the apartment in depth. There will be a medical examination on the baby probably tomorrow or Friday, and we'll probably learn a lot in how the baby passed away from that.
So we don't believe at this point that what she said about the bag over her head, anything is true?
No, we're not believing the abduction story at all.
How heartbreaking is this outcome for your officers?
It's very devastating. Like I said, we had all assets that we could muster on the road. It just so happened today that we had a very busy day in town with patrol calls, and these types of incidents, they don't just affect the street cops, and to back up, all the family associated with this baby, obviously that comes first. That's very tragic. But when it comes to the first responders, from the police to the fire department, you know, many of us have children, and you know, you can't help but feel the pain for the parents, for the child. So it's very difficult. One thing that we have at the Chandler Police Department, we have a critical incident stress management. We will more than likely do a debriefing on this probably next week. Dispatchers, ID techs, our detectives, patrol cops, even, you know, people in our records and in our field operations and things like that. You know, just listening to the call, dealing with it can definitely be traumatic. You have a tendency to place yourself in it. So at the same time, it's part of the job. It's what we all signed up for. It's what we do, what we deal with. So we do our best to make sure that we're staying healthy and that we can be impartial, investigate these types of tragic crimes, and then move on.
Have you seen something like this happen before?
So I can't think of anything since I've been at least PIO here where we have an alleged abduction and it turns out that you know, we're basically where we're at right now. So I can't think of any right now, no.
And have you been in touch with any other family members, even if they're not here at the apartment, but any other?
Not sure if we have or not, so.